feels like, I guess the way I think of it is radical community.
It's more than things being right and wrong.
I think it's just being a part of the community and finding things that you care about and really giving your effort and energy to those things.
To CASC means to be active in your community and not expecting a hand clap for it.
CASCing takes into account, history, and it takes into account oppression and privilege and identity and relationships.
Be selfless in a sense.
We can all sit here and talk about, oh, this might be a problem we see, but it's actually going out there and doing something about it. So, CASC, community action, social change. So you're doing something, you're having action, and you're not you don't give up.
It's the definition of a superhero in logical form.
Just wanting to make the world a little better than it already is.
I try to CASC in every component of my life.
So I guess for engineering and how I CASC in engineering would be thinking about how not only the products or systems you're designing interact with mathematical and physical forces, but actually how they serve the people that they're meant to serve.
I think I CASC by living a life where I know I can't be doing anything else.
I CASC with passion.
Through these relationships, they're almost like coalitions, and you come back to the students that you've made and been really close with for advice on other things. Bringing about the conversations that might not be brought about unless I maybe aggravated a topic or set off the status quo.
I just try to be an advocate, and I try to make people aware everywhere I go. If I see injustice out in the real world, I try to call people out on it, even if it makes them uncomfortable or makes me uncomfortable. Sometimes it's hard being a CASCer.
I would say anywhere from the dyad to classrooms to one-on-one conversations.
Right now, I CASC through Safe House Center, which is a center for domestic violence and sexual assault for women in Washtenaw County. And I also work with inmates in Gus Harrison Prison, facilitating a creative writing workshop with them. I CASC through my social justice work that I do through CASC, as well as through my church on campus, St. Mary's.
I CASC on my social media a lot.
And through CASC, I've been able to travel abroad even, and just realizing that it's not something specific to Ann Arbor, Detroit, any community. It's something that you take with you wherever you go.
It's something I was meant to do ever since I was a little girl. Instead of putting money into the candy machine to get candy, I would instead give money to the man that's on the corner that's asking for money.
When I'm doing whatever I'm doing, whether it's talking with family members or talking with friends or talking to strangers, I know that there's something that drives me to act upon that, to say something, to speak out.
I don't know what I would be without it. It's just, it makes you a more accepting person, and it makes it so easy to talk to people and just realize that people have these amazing stories.
I CASC because I came from a place that wasn't diverse, and everybody's kind of the cookie cutter version of each other. So I CASC to bring diversity to the world and to make other people more accepting. I CASC because at one point I was considered an individual who didn't have the opportunity to stand up, and I had been silenced. So now that I'm in a position where I think I'm fully confident, I'm fully strong, and I have a lot of resources at my disposal, I'm going to use that to help others who are in similar situations as I was.
I love giving back, and I've always enjoyed giving back to communities that gave to me since I was young enough to understand that.
The society that we honestly live in is so diverse on every single social identity scale that to continue living as though we are homogenous is foolery. We just simply don't.
CASC has not only made me a better social change agent, but also a better ally and a better friend. I think it matters because it impacts how you interact with people. Everyone has a different story, and it's up to us to acknowledge that story and reflect back on that.
one thing to understand like diversity in like the broad sense, but understanding really how to practically do it and make sure you're doing it in an equitable way, so that everyone feels empowered that you're working with. And the people skills that I've learned in CASC are what's truly going to be my takeaway.
I definitely have developed a network of people, whether it's students or faculty or resources, to go to, and I will always come back to them and email them and ask them for advice and let them know how I'm doing, because without them I don't think I would have had the support and developed the confidence through the support to be where I am today, which I'm really happy about.
Just always being conscientious of who I am and how I affect the world and how I'm going to affect different situations that I'm in, and trying to just remember that I am a resource.
It's given me tools to be able to do that. It's given me tools and community knowledge so that I can actually take all of those things that are important to me and try and work together with other people to actually make them happen.
You can read so many books, you can write so many papers, but nothing compares to actually speaking with people who have had the experiences that you're reading about and writing about, and how their raw emotions are, and I think that drives me to continue CASCing in my life.
And I think what I will take away from CASC is basically that everyone has a part to play, that we're not all in this alone, and no one can do all the work by themselves, but when we come together, that's when change can be done. That's when CASCing at its best can be done. And so I'm really grateful for all the people that I've met and all the classes that I've been able to take, and I think I'll just be taking all of that with me as I go.